G'day guys, if you're enjoying the MacPack podcast half as much as we're enjoying bringing it to you, the best way that you can help us out is by passing it on to a friend.
That's right. Share a little clip or send them the full show and say, skip to this minute mark for the greatest laugh of your of your Friday. Brighten up their Friday by sending them a link to the MacPack.
Exactly right.
We've been doing some radio down at Radio Fremantle. That's 107.9 FM. What you're about to hear is what we chatted about there on the weekend.
You can obviously join us live each and every Saturday between 8 to 10 a.m.
But don't worry, because if you missed the episode, you can listen right here in your podcast feed.
Enjoy!
Coming to you live.
Coming to you live
From the studios in Fremantle. The Three Brothers.
I'm feeling fan-freaking-tastic.
Boys. Is this thing on?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Welcome to the best day of the week.
It's Saturday.
TGIS.
Turn your radios on.
Crank up that dial.
Saturdays are for the bros.
The weekend's here.
You're listening to the MacPack on Radio Fremantle 107.9.
Good morning and welcome to the MacPack on Radio Freo 107.9. Jake, Joe and Junior Boy in the studio to get your weekend underway. Fellas, how are we?
Boys, we made it to the weekend. It's finally here.
We've finally done it. We're over. Do months have a hump day? I know a week does, but does the month?
Does a month have a
hump day?
It was Valentine's Day this year.
That would be
This month.
That would be the humping
hump
time.
day, yes.
Yeah, okay, in theory.
Yeah. And it is in the exact middle of Feb this year.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, hump by name, hump by nature, apparently. Big show on the cast today. What's been going on in the world, lads? What's been going on in the world?
Crime.
We're
We're getting into crime.
Crime happened. People are dying or almost dying, is what I'll be talking about in a couple hours.
That sounds nice and optimistic.
We're getting heavy. We're getting hot and heavy.
But we're going to bring a fun element to
Yes,
the
it
negative
is going to be
things
the
in world.
zany death segment
Yeah,
that
that's
we've
it.
all been dreaming of.
That's what we're known for.
We've also got a game.
The game!
Okay.
Junior Boy, you had a win last week in the Ohio Mark Stakes.
That's exactly right.
And that's drawn it all up.
It's 2-2-2.
It's a 2-2-2.
Richie Benno rolling over in his
2-2-2.
grave. We've got a game coming up that we played already at the start of the year.
We kicked it off.
And
we're going to kick off.
It takes a little bit of a bit of a skill set. This one. This is the
Ooh.
whistle a game.
Whistle while...
We work it out.
Wow.
That was nice.
That'll be
Let's do
coming-
it again, but with a different sentence.
That'll be coming up just after 9 o'clock. Looking forward to that one indeed, as the two younger brothers
Who will take the lead?
pit against one each other for the lead in the respective games. But up next, could you pull off a robbery?
Oh!
We're chatting about robberies to get things started. You're listening to the MacPack here on Radio Freo 107.9. Our unofficial brother Declan McKenna there with Brazil. You're listening to the MacPack on Radio Freo 107.9. And we're currently asking the question, could you pull off a robbery?
Yes, because this week down our street
That's
there was
right.
a breaking and entering. There was a robbery.
There was a robbery, boys. Well, there was an attempted robbery, but
Yes, there was a B&E down the street. Could you believe it? And
Good.
obviously, usually if something happens to your neighbour, you think, who cares? That's not my house. But in this case, they came to the bush next to our house
yeah.
the robbers.
after their robbery.
Said robbers.
Yeah, idiots. Why would they go to the...
Yes, they were hiding in the bush, which is quite a small bush and not a lot of cover, really.
No, not much at all. Like enough that if we play cricket and you hit a ball in there, you can see it at all times.
Yeah.
So if
exactly right.
if you're, how many people was it? A couple of people?
Well, allegedly, this is all alleged, obviously.
allegedly, yeah.
The official police report isn't in yet, and we haven't received that, obviously.
we haven't.
So we can only speak on the alleged terms, but allegedly around 5 teenagers broke into our neighbour's garage, and then as the homeowners found out that they were in the house, they chased after them or whatever, and then the 5 teenagers hid in the bush instead of running. And then they waited in the bush for around 10 to 15 minutes as the police arrived, and then the police caught a couple of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Why would you not keep running?
Run! You can't.
Yeah, don't
It's
sit
fine.
and hide.
Run, split up.
sit and hide.
The thing with
Trip the one that everyone hates. You're
the
just gonna have a
issue,
fall
like,
out.
I don't know if you guys have ever played hide and seek, but when you play hide and seek, there's hiding, and then you are always going to get found.
Yeah, every game of hide and seek ends with someone being found.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
tragedy.
Can I just ask specifically? Can I ask specifically which house? Like, can you just point out
The
to
one
me
on the
which-
corner.
The one on the corner,
Like,
but
as
on the
you
other
come around
side.
our street.
Okay, right.
Anyway, so then Dad went out there and so the cops pulled up to our door.
So our dog, which famously barks at literally anything that happens ever,
Yeah.
did bark at this time. So now she's been the
bought it.
hero,
Nice.
the absolute hero.
Exactly right. But
A broken dog is barked by the robber once a day, or whatever the saying is.
I found out about this at around 5:30 a.m. when Dad came and knocking on my door, telling me that the cops were at our door.
And the cops just want to know how you rewind the security camera.
They're here.
They're out the front.
Which bush and stuff? Like, do you know where?
Camera 5.
Get their email or something, and I can send them
Their
clips
email.
if I find something.
They want to do it now, do they?
A few moments later.
Can you text me your email address? And I'll give it to him.
They're getting my email. Why are they getting my email? Are you sure the police?
That's right. I was just woken up from my deep
Is
REM.
this one's?
Yeah, so we all have an app which we use to track our sleep and it records audio throughout the night. So that's where that audio is
It didn't
from.
catch
Yes.
the robbers earlier, did it?
It does
Walking
fulfill-
past, going, let's get that place.
One of the great podcast radio journalists I listen to, his slogan is ABR, always be recording.
That's exactly right. And so I had to look at the CCTV footage and sent it to the police yesterday. But the only thing I could find was our dad walking out, having a smoke in his jocks.
Yeah,
at the middle
send
of the
that
night.
to him.
And then the cop
Could be a
walking
lead.
over to him with a flashlight on his eye saying, "Do you know anything about what's going on here, mate?" But the cops, they were there and we've been robbed. Our neighbours have been robbed.
Yeah, so we're asking you, could you pull off a robbery?
That's right.
You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Freya. We're currently asking the question, could you pull off a robbery?
That's right. On our street, our very own street, there was a breaking and entering last week.
Yes, and they were caught
They were caught in the act.
red-handed and empty-handed, apparently.
They were goofballs. They broke in. There were 5 goofballs
Yeah.
that broke into our lovely neighbours. Not sure of their name.
No
Probably.
idea.
We're
To
not-
be honest, now I'm confused about which house it is.
Yeah. Something Smith, probably.
Miles? Miles' folks?
And
He was busy stargazing and they just came around the back.
And yeah, apparently the 5 delinquents broke into the the gentleman's garage, mucked around for a little bit, got caught, and then ran 10 metres away into the bush.
Yeah,
and then
it's like-
stayed there for 15 minutes as 5 police cars pulled up and arrested a couple of them.
It's like they're playing a game of hide and seek or like 44 home, but they're like, oh, there's got to be a limit.
Yeah,
You can only
There's a
go
boundary.
so far, otherwise it's not fair.
Were they young? Do we know? Do we have an age? Because it seems like to only run that far and then hide is something you would do if you were young
Dad
and
said-
inexperienced.
Yeah, Dad said teenagers.
Teenagers.
Yeah.
Apparently, they were also there was something going on with an e-scooter as well. So
But like, all 5 of them trying to jump on the east.
yeah, like some sort of a clown car e-scooter. But it made me wonder. Obviously, these delinquents didn't know what they were doing.
They were so bad at robbing. Like, and to try and rob somewhere with 5 people already is a
There's
bad
too many
plan.
people.
What are you doing?
And no
There's
getaway
too much admin.
plan.
Yeah, and if you were going to rob with 5 people, if you got caught, run 5 different ways.
Yeah,
And
because
keep
then it's
running.
a 20% chance of you getting caught.
If you stand still, you're done.
Yeah.
The thing with robbing is...
Or you can tell the dumbest person, and you go, "You get in the bush."
Yeah.
if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's
Exactly.
exactly what
Exactly,
this crew have
yeah.
done.
That's exactly
But it
right.
made me wonder: could I pull off a robbery?
Yeah, what
And
would
I'm
you...
going to try it this week. I've cased a joint. They've got a big jewel on display.
What you call
It's
it?
rare to find a big jewel.
Oh, a jewel. I thought you said
Even
something
that,
else.
it's like if I
Family
was
jewel.
robbing a house, I feel like nowadays it's like the most valuable stuff is like laptops, phones, and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
all trackable.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, there's no.
You can't
You
get
have
in.
someone's laptop. Who
Yeah,
cares?
so what? Yeah, yeah.
You can't do anything with it. No one's buying a laptop.
You essentially just have to sell it and then explain to them why you don't know the password.
Yeah. If I was robbing someone else, I would be so scared.
Oh my
To get
god!
caught.
Right?
Yeah, to get caught.
Well, you got to get your reps
And
in.
you don't know where any.
You
of
don't
the
know where they
exits
keep
are.
stuff.
You don't know where any of the.
Hey, where's
exits
the
are.
cool stuff?
Like the best way to do the robbery is to actually just go in, like one room at a time. Like you go into one room one night, another room another night. You start to
Oh,
suss.
yeah, you
everything.
don't say anything.
Yeah, you just be
Chill.
really quiet, and then one night you go in and just
ransack.
run through it.
Mumford & Sons with Oh Wait. You're listening to the Back on Radio Freo 107.9.
And we're asking the question on 047 30 30 880. When did you almost die? Because there's been a car crash, boys, in East Fremantle at the Ampol. That's right, just down the way, East Fremantle Ampol.
Oh.
And it narrowly missed a shopper. That's right, boys. Oh, imagine that hitting you.
You're standing there with your bags and it's just right in front.
That's exactly right. There was this young gentleman who he was heading home at around 11 p.m. and he was craving a bloody late night Coke run. Oh, I'll have one of them,
Are you
please.
sure it's that?
I'll have one of them, thank you. I'll have a Cokey at the Ampol. So he's ducked into the Ampol on the way home.
Good man.
And there was a 42-year-old driver of a silver Toyota Camry that veered off Canning Highway, crashing through the glass of the service station. She sustained minor injuries, so she's all right, boys. So have a bit of fun, Amp up.
Amp up at the Ampol.
Everybody's good, boys. She's just crashed into the Ampol. But the shopper who was desiring a can of Coke narrowly avoided being hit because he went over to the fridge, grabbed a Coke, took about 3 steps the opposite direction, and he said he heard the raucous of a car. He said he heard the engine revving, and then he just heard the car smash through the doors.
The engine revving, which makes it sound like he's sped up to then smack into
It's
the
also like
Ampol.
Ampol is like
Who said
there's
it
like
was
a parking lot and stuff. So you got to really be missing the road if you're going to be driving in to an Ampol.
That's exactly right. And reportedly, the gentleman said that once she hit the fridges, she kept on revving after that. She must have been in a bit of shock.
Kept on revving.
That's exactly right.
Like the damage wasn't completely done at that point.
That's right. She wanted to keep going. But everyone's okay, and this gentleman said he's going to take that as a sign to stop getting late night Cokes.
I don't think that's the lesson it should be learned. You're listening to the Back on Radio Free. Lord, with the green light, you're listening to the Back on Radio Freo 107.9. Jake, Joe, and Junior Boy in the studio to get your weekend underway. And we're currently asking the question, when did you almost die?
That's right, because in East Fremantle, there was a gentleman who went for a late night can of Coke, but was stopped because a car came flying through the doors and crashed into the fridge where he was trying to get the Coke from.
I also have a near-miss story that comes from a car. Obviously, car's one of the most dangerous things you can be in.
They really are.
I went to a gig with one of my mates, and he was very excited to give me a lift because he had just got his license. He got his license a bit later than most, and I had been giving him a lot of lifts.
Yep.
So he was time to return the favour to me, and I thought, brilliant.
About time.
He owes me a lot of lifts, and I'm going to get a lot of lifts. But after our first trip together, I said, no more. I'm good to give lifts. That's actually fine because there are a few incidents that happened, such as not letting a car merge onto the freeway. But that wasn't really endangering us. I was more endangering them.
What do you mean not letting it? He was just going at 100 next to
Just
him.
matching their speed.
Yeah.
But they were driving next to each other.
they were
They were
about to
trying
hit the
to. Their
bar.
lane, you're coming in and your lane is ending.
Yeah, their lane's expiring.
And then they're slowing down, I'll slow down. They speed up, he speeds up.
You're either going to hit me or the wall.
And I was quite terrified. But the worst, and then there was also, we backed out of the car park. Maybe look. It'd be good.
Have a glimpse.
But the worst was we were coming back and we're driving off Leach Highway,
Yeah.
and then there's a road that you go on to.
Yeah.
And you can either there's one side which is the left side, which is the side we drive on, and then there's the right side, which is the oncoming cars drive on. But he made the turn, and we found ourselves on the right hand side. There was a car coming, which was quite terrifying. But he managed to maneuver onto the left hand side. Realized, whoops. That's not the right side to be on.
People do that so frequently. I can't fathom doing that. You
Yeah.
have to be so short of like attention span to be doing that kind of thing. The only times I've almost died has to be at the beach, boys.
The beach.
You know when you go to a real wavy beach?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Riley's talking like we're in Hawaii.
And you're getting slammed and dunked on the shore, and then you're like, oh, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
But I think I'll stop this now. I'll just get up and walk back up to the towers. And then you find out that you actually can't. You haven't been having fun. You've been drowning just very, very slowly. You're getting dragged back by it, and you're trying all your might, but you know that the 70 kilos that you weigh is much too easy for the Indian Ocean to overpower.
Getting rolled around in there.
That's exactly right.
It is crazy. It's, you're like, oh, it's just a bit of water. But then when it hits you, and then you're trying to get off, and it just keeps rapping and rapping.
Yeah.
That'd be a horrible way to go.
We've got a game coming up next. The whistle while you work it out game it rears its ugly head.
Jake's saying it now.
On the Radio Freo channels. That one's coming up next. You are listening to the Mac Back on Radio Fremantle 107.9. Shane Brown, Marshmallow with Miles on it. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Freo 107.9. And boys, it is time for the whistle game.
Finally. Yeah. The score is currently a 2 to everyone. This game will put someone in front.
Exactly right. The whistle game is pretty simple. All I'm going to do is whistle a tune. You guys have to guess, to the best of your knowledge, what tune I am whistling.
Let's do it. How exciting.
Cause it's easy when he tells you the song. You don't know now the game hasn't begun. You can feel it coming through his throat. Oh, whistle while we work it out. Oh, whistle while we work it out.
While we work it out, baby.
Simple one between Joe and Junior Boy today. This one will decide who goes into the lead in the 2025 leaderboard of the games.
That's right.
Let's go. And you actually are quite good at whistling. Usually me and Riley struggle, and the listeners are like, how are they not getting it?
Last time we played, Joe,
not getting
you
it?
aced me, I think. You swept me. I didn't even get a point on the board. Can I change the pace this week?
Yeah, can we change the narrative on that one?
We've got three different songs today. It always tests out.
Three of the same songs.
It always tests out my memory as well when I look down at the respective songs and then have to quickly work out exactly
how they go.
I am whistling. Okay, we're going to get things kicked off with the first song.
And we texting in or we buzz in?
Yeah, no, you buzz in with your name. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Joe. All-Star Smash Mouth.
Somebody once told me
Joey's good at this game.
Joey is pretty good.
He loves the whistle game.
I think the last time we played, Riley did not score. He kept a clean sheet to his younger counterpart.
So that's
Joey's
one. So if I get the next one, I win.
Yeah, it's a quick game. It's a short game.
It's a quick game.
It is a quick game. It's a short game. It's what we like. All right, here we go. Number 2. It's always a little bit tricky, this one.
He's trying to think about
You
it.
got to try and remember the melody.
Yeah, he's trying to remember.
Riley. You're beautiful, James Blunt.
my life is brilliant.
There we go.
My life
Oh, we've got a challenge flag out. What do you think?
No, I just thought it was...
Just
Yeah, I just didn't get it. No, that's no challenge.
No,
What? Oh, I'm just writing down the scores.
So this is now for the win.
For the win.
How exciting.
Oh,
It's a 1v1 situation.
All right. Are we ready, lads?
You going to change it up?
Joe. Like Betty.
Oh, Betty.
Joey Boy has gone.
He's
bang.
done it. Joey takes the lead with 3 games to 2 to me to 2 to Jake.
Black Betty. One of our favourite songs. We played it twice in a row last week. Let's play it thrice this week.
That was 2 weeks ago, Joey. Wow.
What I would like to do here, lads,
yeah, it was.
what I would like to do here, I did have another tie-break one ready to go.
Oh.
What? I just won the game.
Yeah, you win the game.
Okay,
this
this one's for fun.
This one's just for fun. This is just for the people back home. I
Double points.
just want to see if anyone will be able to get this one.
Just joking.
Joey's very good at this game.
It's also knowing the songs that Jake knows. Joe. Give me a home among the gum trees.
Joey is the best at the game. Joey, he knows what he's doing when it comes to whistling.
Can't muck around with it, Joey. Joey goes ahead, 3 plays 2, and Junior Boy will be hosting next week.
Give me a home among the gum trees.
Miley Cyrus with Heart of Glass, listening to the back on Radio Freo 107.9. I'm currently asking the question, what's your favourite weird thing to do? Because literally only yesterday, lads, I was sitting on my couch downstairs at home. Just
Nerd.
Huh?
Nerd.
Window wide open.
Do you do it differently?
Yeah.
That's
what they're for, you know.
And I was just perched there. Had the door open, windows.
Of course.
Yeah, windows wide open. A sign out the front saying,
Welcome.
have a look.
Exhibitionist in session.
Live Fringe show. Constant.
Yeah.
Fringe encore.
No, there wasn't much fringe going on. Now, what was taking place across the road, you would be familiar to some degree with my neighbours.
Yeah.
There's a house there, like as you would on any street. There's houses that you are quite memorable. Like you can drive past and be like, oh yeah, this person lives here. This person lives here.
Yeah,
there are a few houses on your street that, like, if you saw them out of context, I don't think you wouldn't know that they're on your street.
Yeah, like
You know
sometimes
what I mean?
like a house might get knocked down to be
Another house.
Yeah, and then you're like, I like literally. If you gave me a picture of 2 houses and said which one was on the street, I would have no idea.
And so that's exactly the situation here. This house is across the road from me, and I can see it from my couch. I could probably see it from my bed if I wanted to.
Which means they can see you in your bed.
Naked.
And I simply heard a little chat take place at the front door.
Why is that guy always naked?
Who is that creep looking at us?
Shut the blind.
It was a young lad who had walked up to the door, knocked on the door, and they started chatting. And I quickly worked out that they were friends, right? But they were in like they were in like the front of his house, but it obviously had a tiny amount of a roof on it, and it had tunneled out so that, let's say it's like a small little cube of a section, right?
Oh yeah, like
And
an entryway room.
Yeah. But this is at the front door. So one bloke's standing at the front door, the other guy's on the other side of the door, outside, and they're just chatting. But they're chatting in like the little entry area.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be speaking any louder than we are at the moment, which isn't very loud, right? Like this is quite a quiet little chat going on.
Yeah, just with massive sticks in front of our noses.
Yeah, and the mics.
I'm sitting on the couch, I reckon 30 metres away. Would you say like across the road in the middle of
30 metres, yeah.
I can hear them as though they were sitting on the couch.
Some
next to
sort of an acoustic trick.
Chamber.
I could hear everything. I know what he's studying at uni. I know that he thinks his house is worth so much and so much. Yeah. I know what he thinks my house is worth because that came up in the chat. All while I'm sitting there, just like not really sure what's going on. I will show you. I took a little video just to show you how easy the acoustics were to hear. I'll show you in the break. But it does beg the question: what's one of the weird things that you like to do? Because I was just sitting there, but I found it quite comforting. But if anyone else...
What if he could hear you?
Yeah.
Like, who's breathing really loud?
I just thought it was a bit of a peculiar one because, like, as much as I was enjoying it, I wasn't doing anything weird. But if he was sat there and he knew that I was getting as much of an interest in his little chat, it would be perceived as a bit peculiar.
Yeah, 100%.
Get in contact on 047 30 30 88. We will hear the weird things that you like doing up next. James Bond with 1973. You're listening to the Backpack on Radio Freo 107.9. And we're currently discussing what's the weird thing that you like to do.
There's so many weird things that we like to do, isn't there?
It's hard to think about because to you, they're normal things you like to do.
Yeah.
It's not until someone sees you, you realise what a freaky little guy you are.
You can sort of assess it by that. So yesterday I was sat on the couch and I was accidentally overhearing a conversation that was taking place.
And then you filmed them.
And like, if you feel comfortable doing it, that's fine. But you have to ask yourself, if they knew I was doing this, would I be feeling a bit weird about this?
Would you do it if
everyone knew about it?
You had to do it in the middle of Optus Stadium.
That's right, but we're so weird that we could make this a weekly segment, boys. What are some weird things that we like to do?
I think one of the weird things that I do, it's not weird in itself, but it looks weird, is that I like the birds that live at the lake near my house. And I will often...
Please
They have names.
continue.
like the swamp hens that had the
actual
real birds.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
So we're not telling everyone about the other kind.
No.
Because you do say you've been obvious down to the beach sometimes, and that's always a bit iffy.
Well, they're seabirds. They're seabirds.
Yeah, that's what you call them.
We call them Australian women.
Occasionally I'll go down to the park and I'll go, even if I might be on a run, but I want to see how the ducks and the swamp hens and the like are going. So then I'll just stand and
jerk off.
stare.
Boring!
I'll just stand there and stare into the lake,
Yeah.
which is obviously not a thing that most people do.
Ponder your
But
life.
I'll lean up against the gate, look out, and I'm looking at the birds, but most people don't really care about birds, so it does look like I'm just contemplating life at the park.
There you go. Weird thing that you guys think I do is I really like eating food that is usually warm cold.
If you're enjoying this week's episode of the podcast, the best thing that you can do to show us a little bit of support is to share it with your mates, whether it's a story on Instagram, a private message to a pal,
A DM.
slide into those DMs, do whatever you need be, or even just message your mum and be like, these guys, they swear a lot, but
I prefer Gmail as well.
Gmail's good.
Gmail's good.
It's slow, it's a very slow and formal way.
I click on any link I get in my Gmail.
Yeah, nice, fair enough. So chuck it on your Instagram story or send it to a mate, but whatever you do, we just want to grow this little baby pack.
Fantastic. And then every week you can chat about the pack with your pack.
There you go, exactly.
Right.
Yes, people would normally eat food warm. Riley will traditionally eat that food cold.
Cold. The weirdest one I think is the Chinese food leftovers. Because just a big bowl of cold
Rice,
crunchy
cold
noodles,
rice.
chicken.
And it's when you leave the rice cold, it gets so clunky.
Yeah.
Gluggy.
Makes you work for it.
Because cold pizza's one thing. That's fine.
Cold pizza's chill.
The amount of times that I have gone around for dinner and Riley hasn't been there, but we'll have let's say we have a nice fish and chips or something for dinner. And then Dad, obviously favourite son alert, Dad will then pack up the chips, put them in the fridge and be like, Riley will have them when he gets home. Cold chips.
That's actually what I'm doing when I get home today.
Yeah, no one has leftover fish and chips. It's called the bin.
You're listening to the Mac Pack on Radio Free.
Saturday has to be the most popular song day.
It does. Saturday Sun. Here Comes Saturday. No, that's a show. Here comes
Saturday afternoon roundup. No,
Saturday afternoon roundup.
That is another
What are some other Saturday songs?
Hey, it's Saturday.
Hey, it's Saturday. That's a good one. Saturday night.
Saturday Night Live. Also not a
Saturday Night
song.
Live. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Not a song.
That's another great song. Sunday, Bloody Sunday. Another great
Sunday. That's a good one. Well, that one's about a very specific historical event that's not happy.
Still a song, but not about Saturdays. That's Sundays.
Saturday by Sam Fender. Saturday Nights by Khalid.
Saturday.
Last Friday night is a good one.
Last Friday
It's a
night's good,
retrospective.
But also,
It's a song, but it's not about Saturday.
it's not about Saturday, so it doesn't really
no, it
play
leads
into the
into
stuff.
some of those events happen on early.
Elton John, Saturday Night's Alright with me.
Saturday night's
Yep,
alright.
Saturday
That's a
night's
good
There
one.
you go.
That one's
I
about
love how
Saturday.
he's clarifying.
Yeah.
Saturday night is alright with me.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it, dude.
I think,
You're not breaking new ground.
I think he's more meaning I'm free.
Oh, he's free.
It's more of an appointment song.
It's a song
It's
about a plan.
appointments. It's a song about, yes, calendar is free.
Yeah.
But Saturday night
Tuesday
is
I'm
alright.
fully booked. The song.
Tuesday's no good, but Saturday night is alright with me.
Looks like Bon Jovi have a song called "Someday I'll Be Saturday Night." So they
Someday
want
I'll
to
be
Someday
Saturday
I'll be
night.
Saturday night.
they want to embody the.
They want.
Because when I was sitting in primary school, all the kids would be asking, or the teacher would come around, do you want to be a firefighter? Do you want to be a garbage man? And I just want to be Saturday night.
The thing that gives me the annoyances is when bands and the like they're singing about how great Saturday night is, but aren't they working mostly on Saturday? That's when the concerts are.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be getting up and about Tuesday midday when they've got nothing to do?
That's true.
It's with Rihanna, I'm looking forward to the weekend song. It's what do you mean?
Every
Do you
day is
even
your
work?
every day is your weekend.
Yeah, you haven't made an album since 2016. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are
you complaining about?
That's what I never understood about Dolly Parton. She's always going on about the 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
I reckon her 9 to 5 looks very different to mine.
Yeah. Bob's a little bit more singing.
Dive Lemon with Marinade. You're listening to the Mac Pack on Radio Free or 107.9. Now, lads, I was sitting on the couch last night. We were fortunate enough to have a...
Again, in the news.
This couch is getting a bloody
Trying to film his
workout.
neighbours.
No,
It's just the you.
we're having a little movie night at home, and I've got a huge TV screen, which was...
Oh, must be very nice. We're talking 120 inches here.
It's not that.
And how big's the TV? Am I right?
But like, we don't really... I don't know. I don't find the value in going to the movies as much anymore because
Because of the value of having to go to the movies.
because you have it all at home. Like, everything at home is such a treat. But I was thinking last night... I was
You can't go to the cinemas.
No.
Natural.
They kick you out.
Yeah.
I was sitting there watching the movie, and I was thinking, like, it's not that long ago that if I wanted to do this, like, you'd have to go to like a Blockbuster.
Yep.
Could you remember? Because we were watching the movie at like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Nice.
What time did we used to? Because we used to go to Blockbuster like once a week, and it was such a vivid memory for mine that we used to do it. But I couldn't tell you what day of the week we used to go or what time. Like, because
No, we used to go on Friday. But then we would get thrown out of whack after our late returns.
would come through.
Because you meant to obviously bring them in on the Friday. Rent them out, bring them in next Friday. But then we would miss, and now it's a Saturday. At Blockbuster.
But what time did we used to do it? Because like, I don't think we would have been going there. Like, what time do you guys currently have dinner?
7 p.m.
Yeah.
On the dot, on the nipple. I see.
7:01-ish, maybe. Give or take. No, I don't know, around then.
When do you have dinner?
Well, first dinner or second dinner?
Yeah.
I don't know, a fair bit later traditionally. 7:30 often, but I just find the window between 5 o'clock and 7 like just zips past.
Yeah, but when you're a kid, it's like 7 is the end of the night.
It's getting crazy.
That's what I mean. So we must have got stuff done like all these chores that I remember being like nighttime would go to Blockbuster at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably like 5:30.
Yeah, because when you're a kid, the night begins at 3 p.m. Like, that's your Friday night. You're home from school. It's 3 o'clock.
True.
Yeah, true.
I'm still in meetings.
Yeah.
Like about stuff that I had to get done for the rest of
Yeah,
that
I'm
day.
getting yelled at and threatened to get my employment cancelled. I'm like, I should be at Blockbuster right now. I don't have time for you people.
That's right.
But yeah, I think was it dark? Maybe it was getting dark. But even that changes completely based on what time of the year it is.
It's not dark until
dark.
8.
Yeah, like 7:45 is like getting dark now.
Yeah, which is crazy because you're like...
It makes you... Sometimes I actually don't like that because that's actually nighttime. But then the nighttime becomes shorter because it's not
nighttime's
dark
only an hour and a half.
early. Yeah, exactly.
It's a scary one. I want to hear on 047 30 30 88 0. What did you do as a kid that you sort of can't comprehend anymore as an adult?
Nice.
We'll hear the best ones next. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Freo 107.9. Here's our man, BB with BT. Freya Ridings with Castles. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Freo 107.9. And we're currently asking the question: what's something that you did as a kid that you couldn't imagine doing anymore?
Yes, we were talking about when we went to Blockbuster.
To go to Blockbuster on like a Friday night,
Yeah.
and I just can't fathom. We must have been going around lunchtime based on how early it seemed to
Which
me.
obviously they don't exist anymore, so we can't do that. I think that I couldn't fathom that I did as a kid. I think the amount of times, like when you're a kid, you'd go to some activity, be it a party or like a new sport thing or just something that mum needed to take you to.
Yeah.
And then you just gotta like hang out with some random kids that are there. And also like you know, you can't add them on Facebook. That didn't exist. You're not getting a kid's number.
Settled.
So you like hang out. That's right. You can't like as a kid, you might just like hang out with a kid at like
Fleeting
the
moments.
park
Fleeting friends.
for like an hour. That was really fun.
And
I'll never see you again.
Exactly right.
Yeah, no, that's so true. There definitely was people that I remember like going to parties with as a kid, and I was like, that guy was so much fun. Don't know who he is though. Not a clue. Not even these days.
Yeah, I went to. You guys both didn't go, but I went to one of our uncle's 100th birthday.
Oh,
okay.
I think
Where
you
was
two
that?
were both sick, and then I hung out with some kid who I guess we have some relation because we have the same uncle that was 100, so we must be related somehow. Absolute legend. We had a great time.
How old would he was? Similar.
Yeah, he was
age
about
to
my
you,
age. Yeah, just never. No idea what his deal is.
You get his name?
Oh, it was like 10 years ago. I don't remember. It was ages ago.
10 years ago.
I think-
I'm sure it was longer than that.
I think just doing stuff when you're a kid where you like really like don't have any idea what's going on and you have no say in stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss not having say in stuff.
Yeah.
I miss...
doing stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to passively be dragged around for a month just to remember what it used to feel like. Like,
Yeah, behind a car.
but like some of the great moments was just like you had no plans all day.
No
Like,
worries. No,
the
nothing.
whole weekend you got completely sparse until Mum's like, "All right, guys, we're going here in 30 minutes, so quickly get ready." And you're like, "Yeah, I can do that. No worries. Where are we going?"
Yeah.
Like that's all you care. You're like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah.
But you don't have
sounds
it.
good.
You don't have it sitting like in the back of your head all weekend where you're like, "Oh, well, I can't do that because at 6 o'clock on Sunday I have to be." Mate, there's none of
You
that.
have no idea what time it is.
No.
Like,
The
good old days.
Yeah, when you didn't have to look at the clock was the best days.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for
right.
sure.
We pined.
Anyway, it's
Let's delete clock.
Anyway,
I'm taking it off my phone.
it's almost 10, so...
Apparently we got to leave. That's the rule. No, we're staying in here. It's a closing.
They're going to have to drag us out.
Denzel Leon back down south, listening to the Back on Radio Free. And lads, that's just about our time in the Radio Frio studios for yet another week.
That's it. It's time to get home and eat my cold fish and chips sitting in the fridge waiting for me from last night.
Sounds lovely. So we'll hand things over to the team at World Football.
That's right.
Indeed. Unless you want to hang about, you can hang about. You've got a few insights for the World
Yeah,
Football
you said you wanted to have
I've
a
been
chat.
watching lately.
Yeah?
There's been some games.
What's your favourite moment?
Oh, it's got to be the goals.
We are back in the studio, same time, same place. And next week, you can catch all of our stuff just by Googling the Mac Packer on YouTube, Spotify, basically anywhere else that you want to find us. It's been an absolute pleasure, lads.
Always is.
Until we do this time next week, stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to
Go give your mum a hug.
It's ciao for now, but not for now. Thank you so much for listening to yet another week of us on Radio Fremantle, or 107.9.
As you heard, there's a lot of participation
Or participation.
from the listeners. So if you want to get involved with the show next week or any week after that, make sure you listen in live and hit us up on the Instagram DMs.
Slide into them DMs.
Yes, and if you want to listen to the show with all the music as well, tune in at 107.9, 8 to 10, every Saturday.
Thank you so much for being a part of the pack. If you enjoyed this week's episode, make sure to leave a little comment in the Spotify box below telling us what you liked. Or slide into our DMs. That's right, they're nice and juicy. They're very wet in there. You can slide in, or you can just tell a mate.
Share it with your mates.
Just share it with your mate. You know,
with the lads or the girls.
oh yeah, just share it. Just share it around. Tell people that you're enjoying it, and tell people that you like being a part of a community. The pack. Without you guys, we're just Mac. But with you guys, we are the Mac Pack. Thanks, guys.